ASMR Magical Tools. Hello, Libra, 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 Libra. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, to start out the May 2021 readings for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, I will be using the Flower Magic Oracle deck. These cards are really cool. I'm excited to be using them this month. They have that really great late 90s aesthetic to them. And some people are talking loudly outside, so hopefully you are not able to hear them, Libra. I do apologize, but I of course cannot control other people's behavior. They're talking loudly, but they don't seem to be horribly aggressive, so that's good. They're not yelling at each other. They're just talking loudly at each other. Alright, so the card that I get for you, Libra, is Jasmine. Sensuality, sensuality, sensuality. Spice up your world, don't keep things the same. Let passion abound, keep tending that flame. As all your senses awaken with a start, time to vamp up delicious affairs of the heart. Embrace and rejoice your body and soul, and entwine with another, make ecstasy your goal. Time to fulfill your carnal desires. Light the candles, sprinkle rose petals on the bed, and chill the champagne, because you are about to get lucky. Jasmine is absolutely brimming with sensuality. But relationships take work, and none of them just happen without a bit of time and effort. Take that time and make that effort. Put some thought into it, and make some space in your schedule to go on a date. Even if you have been married for years, do it. Making time and considered effort for the loved one in your life is important, necessary even. Untended plants die, and untended relationships do too. Add a little romance to your relationship. The little things make all the difference. And if you are single, hang on to your hat, because if you are ready and willing, life is about to get very interesting indeed. So I'm going to take this card, Libra, and put it right here next to the lion. And next deck of cards I will be using is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot. And I just wanted to let you guys know that this artist who created this deck has a couple of other decks that are out or coming out this year. The Dreamscape Oracle deck is already out, and the Luna Tarot will be coming out later this year. So if you enjoy the art of matte hues, then you will like those decks also. be out by the pool today. So if you can hear them far away in the distance, I hope that you will. I hope you will excuse me. It's very difficult, especially as the spring and summer months progress, for me to find quiet time when people are not making a lot of noise outside. So I hope that you'll excuse that. All right, Libra. So, the current position, the past, present, future, goal or destiny. We have your perspectives on the current situation. We have an outsider's perspective. We have your hopes and fears. And we have the final outcome. All right, Libra. So I'm going to start over here in the past. We have the Two of Pentacles. It looks like a business partnership that is flourishing in your life up to the present day, or this could be achieving balance. The Two of Pentacles is an earth sign card, but is also very aligned with your energy, Libra, the energy of achieving balance. Let's look at the current situation. And here we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is about investments and putting money and resources away for the future. So you are investing at this time. We also have coming out for you in the current situation the Eight of Cups. So you could be saving up for a move. You could be saving your money so that you can move somewhere, or you could be saving your money because you are moving somewhere. Or your moves to some other place could be saving you money also. So the current situation, we have your perspective. And that perspective is the Seven of Swords in the reverse. You could have found out that somebody was betraying you, or was going to betray you, or that somebody was trying to pull the wool over your eyes. From an outsider's perspective, we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. The Eight of Cups is about leaving a place, and the Six of Swords is about moving somewhere else. But it's here in the reverse, so it's possible that someone thinks that you are not actually moving. Or it could be that you are keeping your move a secret. And these two cards together could be a reflection of that you are the one pulling the wool over other people's eyes and keeping your move a secret. In the current situation, we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So this can be about emotional manipulation. It could be a water sign person that you are leaving behind if you are in a relationship with this person. It could be refusing to do any more emotional labor in a situation as well. Alright, let's look towards the future, Libra, the future, and I'm going to look at the hopes and fears card first. And here in the position of the hopes and fears, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is long-term career energy. This is the energy of a job that you have been at for around 20 years or so and have worked your way up through the ranks. You could be hoping for that kind of longevity at a job, or you could be afraid that there's not a job out there for you like that. Either way, that is the environment in which the future will be occurring. So let's see what we have here. Lots of signs this month have been getting the Ace of Swords in the future, and you do have it here upright, so it does look to me like you are actively making changes in your own life. That is what the Ace of Swords refers to. So the Tower and the Death card are cards of change, but often those are changes that are affected from without, whereas the Ace of Swords is a change which comes from within. It's you pushing change out into your sphere of influence. And let's look now at the goal or destiny. So this is going to be the direct results of what we have here with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. In the Imam Silai position, this is going to be the midheaven position. And I will clarify that more as we do the 12 houses spread with Lenormand cards. Up here in the goal or destiny, we have the Chariot card, which is a great card to get there. It is in the reverse, but that just means that the terms of this victory are not yet clear. Your direct path to victory has not been elucidated yet, but there is forward motion in that direction, and that will be your eventual destiny. Let's look here at the final outcome also. And in the final outcome, we have the Lover's card. The Lover's card. It's very interesting that in the past we had the Two of Pentacles, and in the future we have the Lover's card. So your victory could be romance. And like I said, for the Chariot card, it looks like the terms of this relationship are not yet clear to you. But also remember that we had sensuality coming out for you. Sensuality is something that you should practice. It is not something that you need to have a partner in mind to start practicing. And of course, course, we have people drag racing out on Sepulveda. Sepulveda is actually the longest street in all of Los Angeles, and it goes all the way from up here in the valley down south of town through El Segundo. So Sepulveda Boulevard, Sepulveda, for a part of its path, it is parallel to the 405. The 405 is one of the highways that traverses Los Angeles. And that is just a little bit about the maps here. A little casual Los Angeles geography, because everyone outside of Los Angeles cares as much about Los Angeles as we do. Enough about that. Let's move on to the Lenormand portion of the reading. These are the cards that I designed, and if you would like to purchase these cards after seeing them in the reading, there's a link to my Etsy shop down in the description box. So your first house is all about the self, and it is about beginnings, and so it's going to go back here to the Two of Pentacles, and it might even end up telling us a little bit more about that situation with the Two of Pentacles. Oh, I have a jumper here. The self. So it is the house of self, and we have the self coming out here. It could have been that you brought yourself into balance, bringing the self into balance. Just because you are a Libra doesn't mean that you are perpetually balanced, It just means that that is a focus for you. The second house is about your finances, and it can also have to do with stability. So, it's going to be down here by this Seven of Swords, which of course could be you pulling the wool over somebody else's eyes, or you ferreting out some kind of deception on someone else's part. And for your second house, we have the heart. So you could be following your heart when it comes to finances. Remember, you had saved money, and there was also going to be a departure here in the current situation. There could be stability in a relationship for you romantically at this time also. The third house has to do with communication, can have to do with siblings, and it can also have to do with your immediate surroundings, so like your neighbors in your neighborhood. And remember that this is getting into the territory of the Imam Sili, so it might tell us more about this Queen of Cups situation. Also, and I have cards jumping out of my hand, but those aren't the ones. Oh geez, we have all kinds of jumpers. So I am going to put those two cards there. We have the clover and the letter. So there's going to be some kind of communication about luck. And it could possibly be in reference to this Queen of Cups. This could be a person. Could be a water sign. But this Queen of Cups could also represent, again, your unwillingness to continue to do the same kind of emotional labor that you have in a relationship. The fourth house is going to be about home and family. Home and family. So let's see what comes out for home and family. We have the mouse. So there's an erosion of your family life or an erosion of the home life. The mouse is something that eats away. It could be that your move is accomplished by degrees. This Queen of Cups could be somebody who's emotionally manipulative, and that is eating away at your home and family life. And you get some kind of lucky communication about being able to get away from that, possibly. The fifth house has to do with romance, creativity, and also has to do with childhood. So that can be your childhood, or it can be children who are a part of your life, whether they're biologically yours or just children that you interact with on a regular basis. And I'll be interested to see what we get here, because of course you had that card about sensuality coming out. You've had a few other cards about romantic energies. We have the book. Now the book can be about knowledge, or it could be about secrets. And this could be about genealogy as well, because it's coming out here in your house of childhood. You could find out that you were adopted, or you could be working on your genealogy. And that could be eroding your family. Like that you're finding out more about your family secrets, and therefore it's kind of eroding your ties to them. This could also be knowledge about somebody having a crush on you, or it could be learning about things to help you in a creative endeavor. Learning about different things. Learning how to use different graphics or music software. And remember, that's over here near this Six of Swords in the reverse, which can be about an exodus or a pilgrimage. So travel of some kind, but because it's showing up here in the reverse, the person, like outside influences in your life, might be perceiving that you have a lack of mobility at this time, but that might not necessarily be the case. Remember, we were saying that it's possible that you're hiding the fact that you're moving from somebody. The sixth house here has to do with your daily routines and your health. Daily routines and health. It's also trine your second house here. So I'll be interested to see how your stability and your daily routines are interacting with each other. We have the clouds, so you could have some kind of health scare or some kind of mild health issues, that it's not like a big problem, but you might get sick. You might have a flu or a cold or something like that. You might be feeling under the weather, so to speak. also, I kind of get the smell in my nose of an ice cream parlor, but more specifically, a place that's not necessarily an ice cream parlor. Any of you who ever had a Nerds flavored Blizzard from Dairy Queen? I just got a huge whiff in my nose of a Nerds flavored Blizzard from Dairy Queen, in reference not just to your daily routines and your health, but how that relates to your finances and stability. For some of you, that might be finding out that you are consuming too much sugar. And especially if you were to find out that you have diabetes, that can have long-term health ramifications. But, that would be pretty specific. And I'm obviously not a doctor. I'm a tarot reader, so I'm not telling any of you that you have diabetes. But there might be something related to that for you coming up in the month of May. Alright, in the 7th month here, in the 7th house, and of course they do kind of correspond to months. The 12 houses do follow the astrological signs, which of course are tied to the months of the year. We're going to be coming up here to this corner where we have the future with the Ace of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. The 7th house has to do with your partnerships, and how you interact with other people, and it's in direct opposition to your 1st house, which is the house of self and beginnings. So this can have to do with romantic and business partners, but it can also have to do with court cases, and open enemies. We have the ring here, so there could be a marriage in your future. There could also be some kind of business contract, especially because we're looking at the 8 of Pentacles here and the Ace of Swords. So while it could be a marriage, I'm seeing much more casual romantic energies here, and much stronger business and finance cards coming out in this particular reading for that period of time. But it very well could be a marriage for some of you. The 8th house has to do with death, sex, and taxes. So that includes other people's money, that's transitions, and physical intimacy. And it's in direct opposition to the 2nd house down here. So I'll be very interested. I think also, so we had this 7 of Swords come out, where I was saying that possibly you are keeping something very close to your chest. So the heart coming out here, where that stability is concerned, you might be keeping that very close to your chest and kind of keeping things secretive. So maybe in the 8th house we'll see a little bit more about that. A little bit. Alright, so for your 8th house, we have the Rider. And I'm getting strong sexual vibes from this. This could be somebody who's like a friend with benefits coming to visit you. It could also be a visitor bringing news of resources. So, those are possibilities. But with the rider here in the 8th house, that could be a period of time where you have casual sexual encounters with people for the month of May. And possibly one of those will lead to something more permanent for you later. So, the 9th house, and we're getting up into the territory of the midheaven now. The 9th house is all of the things you do to elevate yourself. So we're looking at long distance travel, we're looking at higher education and spirituality here. And it is in direct opposition to your 3rd house down here in the bottom, where we have the Imam Silai situation going on. And for your 9th house, we have the child. This could be something new, so this could be, or it could be something very simple. So this could have to do with your spirituality very easily. Or it could be a new field of study that you are entering, or you could be simplifying your college career greatly. It can have to do with an actual child, but because of the place where it's coming out in the 9th house, I would attribute it more as to being something new or something being simplified. The 10th house has to do with career, and how you support yourself, the ways in which you support yourself. So that's going to be in direct opposition to the 4th house. And remember, down in the 4th house, we had the mouse, which eats away, nibbles away at things. So up in the 10th house of career, we have the key. The key is something that you need to pay close attention to. So this could be a very detail-oriented job. And remember too that up here in the midheaven we have the chariot, which can indicate a future victory. Now it looks to me like this victory is going to hinge on some very particular details, and it's also going to be important to simplify things a lot, to focus on simplifying things so that the number of moving parts involved that you're going to have to keep track of is going to be greatly reduced. Now, we're moving on to the 11th house, which has to do with your social groups, can have to do with social media, has to do with iconoclasts and novel ideas, and is your indirect opposition to your 5th house. Down here where we had the book, and we have the lovers up here next to the 11th house. So let's see what's going on up there. We have the moon, and the moon is a card which can be about your long-term career. It can also be about creativity, and the moon can also have to do with the arts. It can also be about things that are not clear right now, but which will become more clear over time. So remember, we had the book down here in the 5th house, and then in opposition to that we have the moon. So you having the knowledge, and then maybe other people trying to figure out that knowledge who are part of your social groups, who are part of groups. And new ideas forming, that could be another part of that energy as well. Now the lovers can be a card about getting into a new relationship, but the Lovers can also be about a choice for you to make. A choice for you to make. Do I make this public or do I keep it to myself? That could be part of the energy. Also. So the 12th house, has to do with your psychic intuition and also has to do with endings, and will bring us full circle back here to the Two of Pentacles and the Self. So the card that you have coming out in your 12th house, Libra, is the Lily. This could be an indicator that you will live a very long and balanced life. It could be an indicator of longevity. It can be an indicator that you will be dealing with someone who is much older than you, someone who is elderly. It can be also an indicator of innocence and purity. There might be a purification of your intuition that occurs, or a purification of the self that comes along with this balance. Alright, Libra. If you enjoyed your reading for the month of May 2021, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I will leave a link in the description box if you would like to submit questions for my future Q&A videos. That's so that you can leave these questions anonymously, if that's what you would like to do. I hope, Libra, that you have an excellent evening, a wonderful week and month, and I look forward to seeing you again